we're going to have another Verge Talk. We're going to hear from our U.S. federal government, which is great, Acting Secretary of Energy, about how the government is thinking about accelerating the clean energy revolution. Please join me in welcoming Acting Assistant Secretary David Freeman. David.
Well, thank you so much. Let's start with a few checks. Let's see. I've got too many slides. Brown shoes, blue suit, tie. Yep. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Now, I want you to change the way you think about those 9 words. I want you to think about those 9 words as among the most important 9 words for the future of your company and for the future of our country. Why? Because if you are going to take advantage, if as a nation we're going to take advantage of a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity that stands in front of us, you're going to need that help. You're going to need that help from my office, the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy at the Department of Energy. At $2 billion a year, we are one of the largest government clean energy R&D funders in the world. And we've set out not just to sustain American leadership, but to win the clean energy race. And you know what? We're doing it. In fact, if you look at our investments from 1976 to 2008, a sampling of those investments shows that we have delivered for taxpayers a return on investment of over 20% per year. But come on, that's through 2008. What have you done for me lately? Well, you know what? If you look at the work that we've helped support, the world is changing. There's been a clean energy revolution that we have helped foment going on since 2008, where wind power has seen a 40% cost reduction while tripling its share of the market. Solar power has seen a 60% cost reduction, with a growth of a factor of 20 in the market. The costs of the batteries for electric vehicles have dropped more than 70%. And today, we have over 400,000 plug-in electric vehicles out on our roads, despite the fact that gas prices cratered. And then you've got the bright light of LEDs, whose costs have dropped by more than 90%, with a market share increase of over 2,000%. Goodbye incandescents, goodbye CFLs, hello LEDs. And so that's why, when I think about this revolution, I can't help but quote the Beatles. You say you want a revolution? Well, you know, we are changing the world. We are making a clean energy revolution happen. A clean energy revolution that's drawing more and more money each year. These investments are growing. According to Bloomberg, from 2005 to 2015, we saw investments globally in clean energy increase by almost a factor of 4. So what's next? Well, I would argue that in the next decade or two, this clean energy revolution is going to turn into a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. So all of you, I think, have to ask yourselves a question. Do you want a piece of that pie? Now, certainly from my perspective, I want to make sure that that the United States doesn't just get a taste of that pie. I want to make sure we're leading the way and diving in and turning that into benefits throughout our economy. Why? Because it's good for jobs. It's good for our economy. And we really don't have a choice. 2014 was the hottest year on record, until 2015 came around. And now, if you look at data from NASA scientists, 2016 is potentially on the way to meet or beat those records. Our climate is changing because of the fossil fuels and other choices we've made as a country and as a world. And that's leading to increases in devastating weather conditions like the floods we recently saw in Louisiana, and the historic droughts and forest fires we see right here in California. Our climate is changing, and the reality is, when it comes to the devastating impacts of climate change, I hate to say it, it's corny, it's depressing, but we're just getting warmed up. I know, that's painful. And that's a gut punch for our economy and for the future of our families. But when we're talking about the future, we're talking about choices. We can make a choice to invest in a future where we accelerate the clean energy revolution to the point where companies are making more money off the solutions than they are off the problems. That's the kind of future that I think we all need to work together to create. And that brings us to another important opportunity, something we've already heard a little bit about today. We're seeing a number of factors create a whole other trend, the rise of the smart and connected devices. In fact, analysts predict that through the year 2025, globally, we're going to see shipments of more than 100 billion smart and connected devices. That can literally change our world, including in the world of transportation, where I would argue over the next 1 to 2 decades, we are going to see more disruptive change than we've seen over the last century. And again, that brings a choice. Are we going to make our money off the solutions or the problems? And I'm just going to skip past that slide because I'm running slow on time. Now, in the world of transportation, we've done some analysis to try to get a sense of how big that impact might be. Well, if we invest in connected and automated vehicles, we could see a world where the energy use from cars and trucks drops nearly 90%. Or we could see a world where that energy use increases by more than 200%. And that's going to depend on choices we make. That's what's going to happen if we end up reversing our trends of urbanization and instead use an hour or 2 hour long commute in the day and at the night to sleep or do work in our cars. Or that's what's going to happen if we let our cars drive around the block, because that's cheaper than paying for a parking space. Now, these technologies, these connected and automated cars, have been getting a lot of attention for the potential safety benefits they can deliver. And that's deserved. Think about a world where you could eliminate the human error that's the cause of over 90% of the crashes of cars and trucks on our roads today. It's incredible. That's exactly why this week President Obama announced new guidelines from the Department of Transportation for how we can innovate and accelerate progress on automated vehicles while making sure that we have practical rules, practical guidelines in place. And that's exactly what we need to do in the world of energy. We need to foster more innovation when it comes to clean energy while making sure we have smart rules and smart tools in place so that we choose the positive outcome, the solutions, not the problems. That's why at the Department of Energy, we started the Smart Mobility Initiative. This isn't just about electric cars or automated cars or connected cars. It's about a system. It's about a system working together so that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. It's not about today. It's about a future where we have connected and automated vehicles and slides with fonts that are too darn small for most people to even see. Now, that's the same kind of future that we need to build when it comes to our grid. Yes, we can put more renewables on our grid, but we're going to hit a wall if we continue to rely on the grid that served us so well in the 20th century. We need a 21st century grid that's as smart, that's as connected, that's as safe and as reliable and as automated as those future cars. And that's why we've created the Grid Modernization Initiative, where we're working with states, with local communities, with national labs to build that 21st century grid, to build that future. That's a future that has to be founded on innovation. Innovation to accelerate the clean energy revolution. And that's exactly an effort that President Obama launched back in November in Paris. joining with 19 other world leaders to commit to mission innovation, to more than doubling clean energy R&D from governments over the next 5 years. And at the same time, a parallel effort that was launched called the Breakthrough Energy Coalition. Private investors, including Bill Gates, who understand this multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, an opportunity to make money while solving our climate, our energy, and our economic challenges. Solving and creating that future, a future that we can't do alone. So let me end where I began. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. But I want that help to not just be about how much money we can provide to accelerate that clean energy revolution. I want that to be about partnership, about how we can work together, because our problems are too big for any one company or any one government to solve them alone. So to quote the Beatles one more time, we need to come together right now. We need to make those decisions to ensure that we have a connected and automated future with increased mobility, increased sustainability, increased security, and energy savings. We need to make a choice to ensure that we are solving the climate challenges instead of creating them. And we need to make that choice to invest in a future where we lead that clean energy revolution. And these are choices I hope we can all make together. So thank you.